Testing 1 2 1 2. Testing 1 2 1 2 1 2. Testing 1 2 1 2. T minus 15. Thanks, buddy. Cheers. All right, that's right. Woo! Your boy's back. Hey, hey. Cheers, everybody. And welcome to Geezy Truth News. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Welcome back. Tuning in. Actually, we got a lot of things to do. A lot of catching up. There's apparently a lot of things going on, so we'll see how it all goes. Thank you, everybody. It's good to be back. It is May 23rd, 2019. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Halfway through the year. It's incredible. It's incredible. I don't believe it myself. So let's see. Whew. We got important announcements. We may have a VIP coming up is the plan. We got a lot of things. Our correspondence. News updates. Our technical engineers are telling us, yes, that's right. Thank you very much. There may be technical difficulties on tonight's show, is what we heard. So thank you. Appreciate it. You know, just in case, the phone should be up and running. Phone lines are on. Station is on. Speaking of which, BitChute and all the other video sharing stuff, we'll put it all on. We'll put it all on. Don't worry. But it's all on. We got it all up. It's crazy. Let's see. Lots of crazy stuff happening as always. What's new? Let's see. This is like that. I don't even know what's happening. All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Look at that. It's good to be back. It's good to be back. Crazy. I keep hearing about all these new laws, all this new stuff that they're trying to do. I don't know. I don't think people are having it. So, everybody's in trouble. When is the, where's the wall? Where's the draining of the swamp? Where's everything? There's a lot of things we got to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody's locked up. Nobody, except, there's some clowns locked up. Nobody's locked up. The corruption is still running rampant. The inflation rate is still going rampant. The bubble is still going rampant. You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. Am I right or am I wrong? So we'll try to get with the news as fast as possible, just in case, have the VIP coming up, and all the correspondents that are truly appreciated of working with everybody. It's all a connection. We got to all connect. Hold on, are we? Yeah, we're good. We should be live. So, let me see. Right off the bat, from the beginning, they're talking Trump talks crazy Nancy Pelosi and treason at wrld press conference. This is all the same baloney, man. There's the same. She's worth over 50, 60, 70 million. More than that. Yeah, millions. All these people. Career politicians are done. Career politicians are done. That was the point with Donnie Boy. Now that we got Donnie Boy, that's it. We're not putting politicians back up no more. That's it. Pandora's out of the box. We can't have all this millions. What's the deal with this? WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange indicted on 17 new charges under Espionage Act. That's pretty messed up. What's going on there? That's what I want to know. Callers call in. Special guest Kevin Annett. We'll be talking about. Hopefully, we'll be talking about the pedogate and all the updates that are happening with all that. Because remember, ladies and gents, what we're all here for. And in the Fed, pedogate, they go hand in hand. The inflation, 2% of the purchasing power. That's all we got left, folks. And that, if that, I'm not a mathematician, but according to everything, we got 98% of the purchasing power lost. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. In 1972, a 14-year-old was making $3.40 Now, converted to today's modern rate, that would be like $19.50. And you can see how that has affected everything. So there you go. 14-year-old is making more money than most people are making right now. Not to mention, something 60% are in debt. Or no, 60. It's like 70% living paycheck to paycheck, 80% in debt. I mean, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what people are saying, but things are not looking good, according to what I've been reading, according to all the different types of stuff. So what's going on, folks? Who's gonna do what here? So I'm just spewing the facts, man. This is too ridiculous. I don't know how anybody can take any of this seriously. That's why where we're at is where we're at. Reading Donnie Boy's tweets, nothing huge is happening. I mean, they're talking about the election already again, or starting it up, ramping it up, whatever. Directed the intelligence community to quickly and fully cooperate with the Attorney General's investigation into surveillance activities during the 2016 presidential election. AG has also been delegated full and complete authority to declassify information pertaining to this investigation, according with the long-established standards for handling classified information. Today's action will help ensure that all Americans learn the truth about the events that occurred and actions that were taken during the last presidential election, and will restore confidence in our public institution. All of that is just noise. All of it is just worthless jibber-jabber. It's the corruption. We need term limits. We need the open interface voting. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. So, I keep hearing here. I'll tell you what the last couple things I read. It's nothing interesting. Something we all know. It's all the same old shenanigans. Oops. Yeah, and we'll post it all. Okay, so here's DARPA. We got the new DARPA thing. DARPA wants to create mind-controlled weapons of war. This is old, declassified stuff. This is not science fiction. It's all right here. So there you go. And of course, Goldman and JP Morgan set their sights on the little people's money. Looks like they're swindling money again. Nobody's doing it. Nobody's doing anything about it. It's the same old song and dance, just a new article about it. Here's that. By the way, this is the site that we're on now. What is that? I think it's this one, among many others. But that is the uncensored. It's not censored anymore. So there you go. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, everybody. Whew, that was a long applause. But let me tell you. So this is, what's new? They're talking about all the same stuff. So, inflation rate, term limits, the corruption. I mean, what can I say? Oh, the vaccine stuff is crazy. That's all happening. All this stuff is happening. Look, they got too much of this stuff. Every little thing you could talk about. Oh, that was another one that I needed to find and post. Let's see if I could find that. Just another study showing the pertinent effects of the GMO and how like it's there's a reason why people are making less kids and stuff. It's all damaging the cells of the body and blah blah blah, all that. Here we go. And then Pizzagate, sponsored by Papa John's. Apparently, well, I don't know what to say. It's incredible. Here's this this is the new article that I was talking about. So what can I say, ladies and gents? It's like the same old sneezy, the same old problems. What's with the Q reports? Let's see, it's 6:01 Pacific. Hold on. Well, after that. So this military operation, the whole Q thing, right? QMap.pub. I'll post that. Our technical engineers are working on totaling the dials and doing all that good stuff over there. So, wow. So there hasn't been any updates since May 12th. I guess I don't know if we've I don't remember our last show, but the last Q drop is the James Comey Moab. So, and that was May 12th. So, it's been a while. And then the second one was No Sleep in D.C. Attempts by Dems, fake news, and those guilty of treason to shape the public narrative by providing falsehoods will fail. Truth to light, no sleep in D.C. So I don't know what they're trying to pull here. Again, this is like apparently a military operation, whatever, try to be all fancy with it. I mean, this is outrageous. Show me the Carfax. That's the whole thing. And nothing is happening. There's a few things here and there, but there's nothing major happening here. And again, so the whole point, it's all one step at a time. You can't wait. The United States of America wasn't founded in one day, and so on and so forth. It took time and this and that. So you don't win anything overnight, and so on and so forth. But the thing is that it seems like a lot of people are waking up, thanks to the internet and thanks to people, researching themselves and who knows what. But the whole thing is that you gotta wake up. You gotta wake up. What is this over here? I mean, this is the corruption's running rampant. This and this, yada yada. Everybody knows. So what now? Well, all we can do is wait. We gotta look and see what's going on. And I guess, I hate to say it, but I guess we're going to have to see in the 2020 election. That's apparently going to be the end-all and end game, I guess. So that's the deal. So what's happening? You have all these people talking about all this stuff and all this fakeness and all this corruption. And, there's 3-4 huge things. There's, which we always talk about, with the end the Fed and Pizzagate. But the details in it. There's 2-3 things. There's many things that you have to be doing. But term limit on all these guys. Congress is running rampant. They're there for years and years, decades and decades, making a ridiculous amount of money and doing nothing. I don't understand why that is the case. Why is that? Why did the Founding Fathers not put term limits to Congress? It's a great question. I don't know. But that's what needs to be done. Because you look at all these corruption. No, more than a third of our Congress is dual citizenship. I don't know if that makes any sense. And then a third of them, if not more, are all been there for decades. I've been working there for years, and just it's ridiculous. And they're making millions, taking lobbyist money, doing this and all that. Again, it's beyond me how any of that is legal, and it isn't legal, but because who's going to cover Congress? Who's going to take control of Congress or hold them accountable? Nobody is allowed to do that, apparently, according to modern politics. Donny Boy tries to do something, but we all know how that ends up. And so that's the thing. So we'll see. You know, the inflation, that needs to be decentralized. The banking system and all that needs to be decentralized, and that's what will fix all that. The term limits need to be installed on Congress and police and all that, so that would fix that. Eventually, you know, it all takes one step at a time. And then that will root out all the pedogate stuff and all that stuff, because apparently the public is not ready. I guess that's what according to the QAnon reports and all that other stuff. That's the case, of that that's too much for people. So catch them slipping, catch them doing something else. So, well, let's see. Going over to economics, finance. Dow Jones dropped 286. Okay, here we go. Hello.
Hi, it's Kevin.
Hey, Kevin, how's it going?
Fine.
Well, thank you for calling to Geezy Truth News, and let's go on and talk about what's going on.
Sure. What do you want to know specifically?
Well, you know, as always, from everything to everything. I mean, what are the updates? What's going on? What's the news? What's happening and all that?
Well, folks can follow some of the recent postings in murderbydecree.com. In a nutshell, over the last 6 months to a year, there's been a lot more people coming forward to describe a lot of these crimes that we've heard about kind of from a distance, involving for example, the Ninth Circle Satanic Cult, the involvement of fairly high-level people within church and state in these activities. And, we've all... Hello? Pardon?
Yes, I'm listening. Sorry. I don't know if that's what that background noise is, but go on.
And all of this is an accumulation of many years of activity on the ground, which, culminated in 2 common law trials in Europe, where we actually prosecuted the Pope, the Queen of England, and others. We're finding, as a result of all this, a lot more people are coming forward now, and they're looking for new ways to confront these crimes in their own neighborhoods. So we do a lot of preparation with people in common law workshops, showing how they can convene their own inquiries, that kind of thing. So it's kind of roughly in that category.
Okay, great. So the newest update that I heard was that Cardinal Pelle, the biggest thing that I heard as of recent was that Cardinal Pelle was convicted, and that is allegedly the second in command of the Vatican, and he was finally convicted. Is all of this correct?
Well, yes, he was an Australian cardinal, tied fairly closely to the present Pope. In fact, he was one of the top officials of the Vatican Bank. And now he was convicted in an Australian court, and sentencing was delayed for a number of months. And in fact, what usually happens in these situations is they get a slap on the wrist. And I think he was convicted for 2 years. It was a fairly light sentence. He was overseeing the concealment of child trafficking in the Catholic Church in Australia for literally decades. And what's never talked about in these media reports is that he was simply enforcing the standing Vatican policy called Crimen Solicitatis. And it says when children are raped, the police are not to be told, the whole thing is to be covered up, and everyone's to be silenced. That's a standing policy coming out of the Vatican. Every pope, including the present one, endorses that policy. So why prosecute the lower level people for simply, enforcing a standing policy? It should be the pope that was on trial. The whole system should be indicted for that kind of concealment. It's really a criminal conspiracy where every Catholic is expected to cover up child rape.
Yeah, exactly, and it's pretty crazy. So I just, it's hard to find all these reports because the media barely talks about it, and then what you do find, it's all wishy-washy and nothing concrete. So is he in prison? Is he, or is it still? Because I'm familiar with the slap on the wrist status quo. Nothing happens, rarely, but this time.
What tends to happen is you'll hear the news story that he's convicted, then there won't ever be any more media coverage. That's to conceal it. It's like when you might notice that when people are accused of raping children, there's a media ban imposed on it on the whole case by the judge. So you can't find out who the child rapist is, what's happened to them. It's a way to protect the perpetrator, and even more so in the case of the Catholic Church, which is allowed by governments all over the world and the United Nations to operate as a power unto themselves with their own laws. They don't have to abide by the law of the land. They can, basically do whatever they want, including rape and kill children, and occasionally get these, slight reprimands, through an individual to the crowd to placate and create the impression that there's some justice being done. But the system carries on. That's the point. And, it's pretty absurd the way they go about this whole thing.
It is. So is there anything? So what's next? So we got Cardinal Pelle. What's next? Are we working on getting the Pope? What's next?
Well, there have been two attempts to perform citizen arrests on Pope Francis Jorge Bergoglio. One in Geneva last summer, and then again in Ireland in September when he came to visit there. And the thing to remember is that this present Pope is very implicated in a lot of crimes himself. When he was in Argentina, which is where he's from, he went from being a priest to the head of the entire Jesuit order in just 3 years. One of the reasons was he was good friends with the military junta there. The military took over in Argentina in 1976, started what was called the Dirty Wars, where they were slaughtering over 30,000 people, locking them away in prison. Bergoglio was friends with the military. He was speaking highly of them right at the same time that his own priests were being murdered. And he never said anything about it. He was also involved in the trafficking of children and political prisoners. They would torture people, take their children, and traffic them for a lot of money. The Catholic Church did that in Spain under the Franco dictatorship. They did it in Argentina. Bergoglio was involved in organizing that. And so he really should be on trial for that alone. But he's also being seen, as was Ratzinger, his predecessor, at these Ninth Circle gatherings, which are child sacrificial rituals, in a cult that goes back over 300 years. And so these guys are implicating these horrendous crimes, and yet, they're the only people that are willing to go after them are common law activists on the ground, and the support they get from the police and governments is, everywhere really. It's the system that's the problem, not bad apples, right?
Right. Wow. So is there any proof? How much evidence do we have about these Ninth Circles, these Ninth Circle sacrifice meetings?
Well, if you go to murderbydecree.com, you'll see posted under ITCCS updates, and the video evidence there, you'll see two eyewitnesses who were born into this cult, Anne-Marie von Bienberg and Toos Nienhaus. and they describe in gory detail what goes on at these rituals. Their description of seeing top Catholic cardinals, popes at these things. There's reference to the Ninth Circle in documents that were given to our tribunal during the second common law trial we did in 2014. That found Bergoglio and others guilty. There's also sources within the media, within the Curia, which is the Italian College of Cardinals in Rome. They all make reference to this cult. And also, you know, people I work with in Europe have provided information to Interpol. Just 2 years ago, they did this raid, and they found over 30 children locked in cages in a Catholic church in just outside Brussels and in Belgium. So, I mean, these are real things. It's tied into the global child trafficking network, which is really a system of modern slavery, human trafficking.
Yeah.
It's like drugs and arms. It's very lucrative, the trading in human beings, and children are easy to get. You know, in the foster care systems, orphanages, government care systems, that's where a lot of the trafficking goes on, you know, right in the system itself. So this is all, you know, if people just go to murderbydecree.com and do the research and the reading, you'll see, you know, a lot of the evidence of this.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is that this is an international ring, obviously. I mean, the world is a small place, and this is an international ring. Now, your website, does it show everything internationally, or does it just show? Because you're in Canada, right? I'm in the United States. I'm very familiar with. There's a lot of famous pedogate. A lot of stories here. There's like that Franklin case and the Johnny Ghosh case, and then this and that. I'm not sure if you're familiar with those. I'm not familiar with Canadian stories, except for obviously the immigrants and the not the immigrants, but the First Nations, because they abused those children obviously first, and then and whatever. But so predominantly, where is this all happening? Of course, it's happening all over the world, but is it?
Well, you find it actually, we've documented a lot more of it going on in Canada, because Canada's the perfect camouflage for a lot of this stuff. When I first began to do this work over 25 years ago, I was a minister on the west coast of Canada, and what you found there is a lot of these Indian villages are hidden up these coves, and it's very easy to do whatever you want there to them. That's where a lot of these Indian schools and Indian hospitals were based, where they're doing all these experiments and sterilization programs, the whole bit. You can see all of that in our book, murderbydecree.com, but what you find is wherever you tend to get a lot of this trafficking, torture, wherever there's been a war, where there's heavy poverty, usually port cities tend to have a lot of it because of the overseas connections, especially in the Pacific Rim. So I mean, like you say, it is everywhere, but targeted groups, people that are particularly vulnerable, like immigrant children, Aboriginals, poor families. I mean, for example, in my documents are from Unrepentant, which you can see on the same site. There's a woman talking there, a Native woman, just talking from a few years ago, saying that the welfare services in Vancouver told her that if she wanted to see her children, she had to agree to be sterilized, have no more children. And that's like a standing policy in a lot of welfare agencies, because there's one standard in Canada for Indians and then another standard for everybody else, because Indians aren't citizens under the law. They're what's called wards of the state, which means they're like children under the law. They can't refuse medical treatment.
Wow.
They're like a substandard of, they're not citizens.
Second rate, yeah. To this day, they still view them as that? To this day, it's still like that?
Yeah, it's under what's called the Indian Act of Canada.
Wow.
It's still in effect. And
that's amazing.
It's illegal under international law. It's why there was so many protests against apartheid South Africa, because they have race-based legislation. One law for blacks, another for whites.
Yeah, of course.
Same in Canada today, as we speak. There's one law for Indians, one law for everybody else. I mean, you don't have an Irish Act or an Italian Act
Right.
But you have an Indian Act.
Right. And what's astonishing is that all of these guys are in cahoots. I mean, from what my studies, it's like the politicians the politicians have something to do with it. Like all these people, it's like the corruption is rampant, and apparently the Vatican is at the top.
Yeah, I mean, it's about big money. You follow the money like in anything, you find the interlocking connections here. The Vatican is the source of a lot of it because they're the oldest corporation on the planet. They go back 2,000 years. They've been doing this for centuries. They still believe that the Pope has life and death power over everyone on the planet. He owns everything. He can give any piece of land to anybody he wants or takes it away. That's still Vatican doctrine. And with that kind of megalomania attitude, they've got a policy called crimen solicitanus, like I mentioned, that says when children are raped, the police are never to be told. If you're a child rapist, you know that you can get ordained as a Catholic priest and you'll be protected. You'll never be prosecuted. So what kind of people does that attract? And, with billions of dollars at their disposal, they can make black seem like white and buy any politician they want. So our solution is to work in the grassroots because even though they're powerful, and I often say the more powerful institution, the more vulnerable they are because they have so much to lose.
Right.
In Canada, over years, we forced the church this genocide out of just a few dozen of us by occupying churches, by putting this evidence right in everyone's face. They couldn't ignore it. And we eventually even forced Pope Benedict to resign because these people know they're guilty, right? You just have to force the issue all the time with them.
Amazing. So last time I checked, in the United States, 800,000 kids a year apparently go missing. And it's amazing. I mean, from the inflation, on my show I talk about the two main things I talk about is inflation and the pedogate thing. The Federal Reserve, which affects all of us internationally, and the pedogate thing, which obviously affects us all internationally. Those are the two main concerns. Those are the two main problems. When you talk about those two things, for some reason they're interrelated, and then everything else seems like candy or like a joke, compared to this. Because these are apparently the two things that are running the whole world. So you got the corruption, where you got, one private entity running the whole financial system of the world. I don't know what your take on that is. I'd love to hear it. And then the children, they're all apparently getting raped and killed and, all this stuff. And apparently in the U.S., 800,000 kids go missing. Not a single media report. Nobody talks about any of that. I mean, it blows my mind. So I don't know how many kids go missing a year in Canada, but I would expect a very high amount as well. And again, nobody talks about it. It blows my mind. It's like, what am I supposed to do? What are we all supposed to do?
Well, you start in your own neighborhood because, as we know, it goes on everywhere. And, one simple thing to do is, that the Catholic Church in your neighborhood, it's a dangerous place for children to be because the priest there can molest the kids and nothing can be done about it under their law. You call the police and you say, well, we can't go up against the Catholic Church. They've got their own protocol. I had a perfect example of that. I was asked to come out in Washington State, a place called Omak, Washington, about 5 years ago. Native eyewitness said that she saw as a little girl a Jesuit priest take a newborn baby and bury it alive under the floorboards because it was a result of his rape of an Indian girl, right? He got rid of the evidence. She went to the tribal police, she went to the local police, she even went to the FBI, and they all refused. They all said the same thing. Well, we have to get permission from the Catholic Church before we go digging around on their yards. And of course, they're not going to give it. But I mean, since when do you go to the serial killer and ask for permission to dig under his house? It's like there's a separate standard. They have the power to do whatever they want as long as governments allow that. We find the best way to if you even, and this is what forced the issue in Canada, we began occupying churches on Sunday morning. We just went in there and started handing out flyers to people. It created such a stink that within a few weeks of us starting that, the government started making noise about issuing apologies for these residential school crimes. That's all we had to do. And, it's easy to provoke these people because they're so guilty and there's so much evidence neighborhood starting to do this more consistently, and you'll see a lot of things starting to open up. But, it depends on all of us to make that happen, right?
Yeah, amazing. And it's the problem is that I think part of the reason why this pedogate and the inflation thing has something is I think it's people are too broke to care. Like everybody is living paycheck to paycheck here in the U.S. and so everybody's worried about their next meal, their next paycheck, their rent, and so it's hard for them to care. You know what I mean? It's hard for them. It's like, of course they care, but it's like they have to take care of themselves. Like it's like people are living. I mean, it's amazing what's happening, and yeah, when is the threshold gonna break, and when is what is going on? I mean, it's.
Well, it doesn't really take too many people to force this change, and we're looking for a lot of the work I do is I go around and hold workshops and meetings, try to locate. There's always a few in every community that want to do something, and our job is to kind of organize those people, bring them together, and set up a whole network of this. And like I said, in Canada, we forced this to change, and there was at best two dozen of us across the country. But we were situated strategically. We struck at what was important to these powers, and it'd be, the collection plate on Sunday morning, their public image. That's all they care about, money and their image. And you threaten those things, and you got a lot of power over them. So, one thing I should mention to folks and you is, if you go to Amazon.com, put in my name, Kevin Annett, you'll see all of my recent books. And two of them are really important, not just the Murder by Decree book, The Crime and Genocide in Canada, which tells this whole history, but there's two manuals I wrote, a common law training manual and a whistleblower's manual. And if you look at those books, they give you a lot of practical advice and experience about how to go about all this. So I'd really recommend people to get those books especially.
Fantastic. Well, that's amazing.
Also, I should announce, too, we do a blog radio show on Sundays. 6 p.m. Eastern, that's 3 p.m. Pacific. Every Sunday, bbsradio.com/Here We Stand. Here We Stand is one word. And we regularly have eyewitnesses, people on the ground doing this work. And I urge people to follow that because it's a way to keep informed. And there's going to be a lot of actions in the summer and fall all over North America and Europe. So you can follow that at murderbydecree.com as well.
Perfect. So is that the best that we can do? Is pretty much follow everything you do, and then whatever we can do here, or anybody in the world,
yeah.
Anybody who's.
I find an issue. It doesn't even matter what the issue is, and start working on it. And we have to operate according to common law, the right of everybody, every citizen, that inborn right to, become the law when the police and the courts are complicit in these crimes. We can form our own common law courts and investigations. We can perform citizen arrests on these child raping priests. All of that's in our power. We just need to lead by example. And that's why I appreciate being on your show and, getting the word around, because that's really how it works in a grassroots way, right?
Likewise, I appreciate your work very much, Kevin Annett, and I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to call and talk about all this. Thank you. And
anytime, yeah. And there will be more updates. I'll be sure to get them to you, and we'll talk again.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much, and keep in touch, and God bless.
I will, brother. Thank you.
Take care. Thank you.
Bye for now.
All right. Well, that was Kevin Annett, author of Murdered by Decree and the Common Law Training Manual, and all the websites and all the stuff I mentioned. You could buy his books on Amazon and all that. Our technical engineers, I believe, wrote all the stuff on the side chat there, and we'll post it all everywhere else too. This is important, and hopefully we can talk about. I'm curious to what he has to say about the financial markets and all that as well, because I personally think that this is all connected, and it's a pretty big deal. This is huge stuff. So that's the pedogate stuff is making the money off the inflation or off the money off the Federal Reserve. Whatever they're doing, it blows my mind. Whatever they're doing, they're subverting everybody and throwing them all off track, and you have all these kids that being killed and tortured and raped and all this and all that, and nobody cares. Nobody's doing anything. So that's what we are here all for. Kevin and Annett, thank you very much. And so that's what it is. We got to stay vigilant. Keep doing what you got to do. Like the man said himself, you got to attack find the local problems and uproot that evil. Figure it out. So, there you go. Thank you very much for that. And I wish I could tell you more, but that's about it. And as I was saying before, that the market is, it dropped, almost 300 points today, and there needs to be the bubble needs to be burst. In the physical metals, not much has happened. Last time it's been hovering around between 12 and 13, right? So it's 1282, and silver's 1455. So it's all pretty much hovering around the same area. Nothing crazy. Bitcoin went up a couple thou. I think last time we talked, it was maybe at 5. Now it's actually at 8 now. It's at 7,926. So it's at 7,900, hovering around there. So yeah, so there's that. You got the updates of the financial markets. Got the updates on the pedogate ring, and hopefully we're going to uproot both of them, and it's all a work in progress, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you very much. Thank you for tuning in. Keep in touch. We'll all be, we got to all update each other, stay vigilant. And that's a wrap. Geezy Truth News is out. Thank you.